Worry for Bora Hansgrohe. In fact, nobody in that group is really a worry for Bora Hansgrohe, are they?
No, again, it's a perfect situation for Bora. They have been getting an easy ride today because of the breakaway and the sprinters teams controlling, so they have had an easy day, and yes, that's what they want, because the days coming up are going to be difficult ones for them as we get into the more hilly mountainous stages. We can see in that breakaway, you can see Nicholas Arndt is not contributing, Bilbao is not riding, and you have two guys sitting on here, and the Sunweb man, Nicky Arndt, is not going to contribute here because he has the fast men and just in the peloton. But we can see, it is a gap is opening up here, and who's got the manpower here for the sprinters teams to close this one down? I'm not sure will they be able to do that.
Well, NTT are trying. They're giving everything because, as we've said right since the start today, Giacomo Nizzolo is in the form of his life. Ryan Gibbons is chasing. Up ahead, we almost lost sight of these two. 10 kilometres to go for the remaining two breakaway riders. They'll be hoping that there's enough messing about behind to give them a chance. But the gap's coming down further now. 25 seconds for Jan Tratnik for Bahrain McLaren and Alexis Goujard for AG de Zella Mondial. AG de Zella Mondial, who haven't won a stage of Paris-Nice for 6 years now, since Betancourt. This is Askren. Youngles allowing the wheel to go until Nikias aren't chased on. You expect Youngles will try and close the gap now. Interesting that Bora's starting to ride behind. Just starting to help NTT. Might be a surprise. As Peter Sagan feels good. Lotto Soudal continuing to ride for the chances and options of Caleb Ewan. And the gap still comes down. 22 seconds between this quintet and the duo up front. It's nail-biting time at the end of stage 5 of Paris-Nice. The sun is out on the race to the sun, and it's been a beautifully entertaining day today. Coming to the boil at just the right time. 8.5 kilometres to go. We had a group of 4 away on the longest stage of Paris-Nice towards La Côte-Saint-André. We've had the climbing done, we've had the sprints out the way, and it now remains to be seen if we will have a bunch finish, an attacker's finish, or the remnants of the breakaway taking the day. Just over 8 kilometres left. This is Bob Youngles in Group 2. Peo Bilbao trying to get that motorbike away. He knows that he's got a teammate up the road in Jan Tratnik. Off you pop, he says. For those of you maybe watching for the first time, the reason he's doing that is because, of course, that creates the slipstream, makes it a little bit easier to chase, doesn't it?
Yes, well, any little bit of drafting at all from the motorbike is going to help at this rate of travelling. And we could see there, the two men not contributing, notably Nicky Arndt and Pello Bilbao. It's caused the death of the breakaway to survive. And you could see there Kasper Askren, he was driving on the front with Nicky Arndt in his wheel, and it was Bob Youngles who had to close the gap, and he had to make the effort. So when you have guys who are just sitting on like that, it really upsets that breakaway off the front of the peloton. But still, this 20 seconds, these guys are doing a real strong ride, because so much action back in the front of the peloton and in the main peloton. 7.4 to go. If these guys could have held together with 4
these
riders,
guys, might be this guy, sorry Sean, but it might just be this guy now. Big effort here from, he's out of gas, that's it, isn't it?
Well, it's just it was going to happen. You could expect that the two out front, some of them are going to explode, and we can see it's the AG2R man he really hit the wall here, and Tratnik is still going on, but if they had just got all that climb with the 4 riders that they had in the breakaway, this would be a real difficult one for the peloton. But it looks like now 18 seconds with still just under 7 kilometres to go, they should be able to close them down, unless Tratnik can put out a performance, an amazing run in this final number of kilometres.
21 seconds Sean, they've been riding for 220 kilometres, which at this stage of the season is a huge distance. Hat off to each and every one of the 4 riders in the break today, by the way, because they really have made a go of it today. I know there's only one left, but they have had a real superb effort. Let's look at Thomas de Gent here, one of the strongest riders in world cycling. He's having to absolutely bury himself to chase this. Lotto Soudal being helped out by B&B Hotels, Cofidis and Sunweb. Only one man to chase now. Jan Tratnik, Slovenian rider for a Bahrain McLaren team that already has 1 win to its name this week. Don't look back, Jan. Don't look back. The gap's gaining, Sean.
25 seconds, and you can see the year he's pushing there. You know, the big ring, 54. You know, he's on the 11 there, or 10, whatever he's got. But it looks like he's in the lower sprocket, or if not, just the second one from the bottom. That that tells that there was the rate he is going, and he's travelling at an amazingly fast pace here. 5.3 to go, 21 seconds. This is going to be it's going to be an interesting one. He looks like Tratnik. He still have a lot of power left there, and if it does come back together, this is going to be a real messy sprint, because there's not going to be a number of riders from a team who can secure the pace on the front, so it'll be chopping and changing all the time. So we could see a surprise once again in the final, and now the riders like Duconi Quickstep, they finished here with their attacking and their tactic at the end of the stage. I'd be surprised if they do not try something else, but 22 seconds, it's amazing the way this guy is holding out.
30 years of age, from Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia. He's won the races in and around his region before, Okolo Slovenska, the East Bohemia Tour as well in Eastern Europe. Been up there and almost won the Tour of Luxembourg once, but it was that stage at the Tour de Romandie last year that was his biggest result so far in his career. 13th yesterday in the time trial, and showing that he can time trial away himself. It's 25 seconds again, with just over 4 kilometres to go. Even big Phil Gilbert is giving it a right old go now, chasing on. It's touch and go, I tell you that. We talked about this being the last opportunity maybe for the sprinters. They might not get one. 4 Ks to go for Jan Tratnik and Bahrain McLaren. 23 seconds of a difference. Well, he's got a fairly long road here to chase in. Roundabout coming up in just over a kilometre's time. And when he gets to around 700 metres to go, there's a really sharp turn to the left. Interesting that Bora Hansgrohe again are committing to the chase here. As Sean said, if it does come down to some sort of a sprint, it'll be a mightily messy one. On the right-hand side, you can see that Sunweb want to give Kees Bol a go. Cofidis have worked all day long, surely they're not to give up now. But what's left in the tank? NTT on the left-hand side, Michael Valgren's having a go. It's chaotic, isn't it, this?
Yes, it is chaotic, and yes, it's a normal one after this difficult day, and this breakaway being such difficult. Want to keep under control, and more so in that last 60-70 kilometres. They've had to ride so hard. You can see they're running out of manpower, all the teams, and they're trying to keep on the front here, but just backing off a bit. And sometimes that is the problem. They want to keep men for their sprinter to give him that lead out, and in the meantime it's still 22 seconds for our rider out front, and 2.7 kilometres. We can see this road, it's a real killer of a road, because wide open here, on your own here after being out for all the stage, it can be a real difficult one, but he is putting up what a ride here, what a powerful performance for this man today.
Well, 20 seconds and just over 2 kilometres to the line. If you think back to the Tour de France last year, Jan Tratnik gave it a go that day that Darrell Impey finally took home his big win to Brioude when we went to Romain Bardet's hometown. It was a huge breakaway. He ended up third on the day. As we look to the back of the peloton, And if there is a sprint, Chalette-Sur-Loing won't be involved. If there is a sprint, Chalette-Sur-Loing will not be involved. And that is because of a mechanical issue. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. All that work, all day long. And it might just come back, you know. 14 seconds. Could be heartbreak for Tratnik. Do not look back. Sunweb pushing things on. Ball is there, Matthews is there. Brian Coquard trying to get in on and into the mix for B&B Hotels. One by one, riders struggling to hold on. Some even end up in the ditch on the right-hand side. Elia Viviani still in the mix at the back of a three-man Cofidis train. 13 seconds now with 1.3 kilometres to go. Jan Tratnik is still the man at the front of the race, and he can see the Flamme Rouge up ahead now. The World Championship's done for the day. The world champion has gone. Mads Pedersen pulling hard every time he looked at the peloton for the last few minutes there. We're going to get into a kilometre, and there's going to be a 12-second gap. They can see him up ahead. He better not look around because they are right up on him. But Jan Tratnik, with a kilometre to go, 10 seconds of a gap, is trying to hold on. This would be an heroic win. One to remember for many years in Paris-Nice. There's that final left-hand turn, and Jan Tratnik will soon be able to finish the finish line. He can see it up ahead. Tratnik is there for Bahrain McLaren. It was a super win the other day for Ivan Garcia Cortina. Can it be pulled off again today? 5 hours, 17 and a half minutes in the saddle. A mammoth 227 kilometre stage. 4 men in the breakaway, and one has survived with 400 metres to go. We can see Jan Tratnik. We know behind that they're pulling, behind they're approaching. The sprint is starting, and it's going to be Barbier to have a go. Behind Michael Matthews trying to lead out Kees Bol as well. Tratnik still going now. He can see the line. They can see him. It's 200 metres to go now for Tratnik. Oh, it's going to be so tense. It's going to be so tight. Bonifacio having a go on the right-hand side, and it could well be heartbreak. Tratnik's there. Tratnik has his heart broken. It's Bonifacio to the line. Oh, my word. That is something for the ages. Jan Tratnik going to around 100 metres to go, having his pocket picked by the most unlikely of winners. We know that Niccolò Bonifacio is a strong rider. But there, he's managed to catch the breakaway at the right time. He's managed to unseat the rest of the big sprinters. And Niccolò Bonifacio sits atop of the throne after a day in which the king-elect was dethroned in the final 100 metres. Heartbreak for Jan Tratnik. You have to feel for him, but a win for Total Direct Energie coming out of absolutely nowhere, sure.
Well, what a disappointing for Tratnik, and just being swallowed up there in that final couple of metres, as we can see here. Sunweb was the ones who started to wind it up about 1.5 kilometres, 2 kilometres out, and we can see here that Bonifacio just the strongest of the men what was left here, and as we said, it was always going to be a bit of a messy sprint, but Tratnik, after a monster performance, just disappointed in the final 50 metres.
50 metres from the line for Jan Tratnik. I can't believe what we've just seen. A wonderful, wonderful chase and a quite magnificent end to a bike race. I'm sure Bahrain McLaren won't think it's that, but they have entertained today. So has Niccolò Bonifacio, stage winner on day 5.
Garcia Cortina qui complète le podium. Hofstetter n'est pas très loin non plus. Ce qui est sûr, c'est que Maximilian Charman, le porteur du maillot jaune, était bien présent également dans ce peloton et va conserver sa tunique parrainée par LCL. Le classement qui s'affiche, mon cher Marc, pour nous confirmer la victoire italienne. Deuxième victoire pour un coureur italien après donc Giacomo Nizzolo, c'est Niccolò Bonifacio. Ça se ressemble effectivement. Ivan Garcia Cortina est deuxième, Peter Sagan troisième. Les Français 4 et 5 avec Nasser Rouhani et Hugo Hofstetter. Andrea Pasqualone est sixième. John Degenkolb prend la 7e place. Elia Viviani.
The 18th victory in the career of Niccolò Bonifacio is one of the most hot-stopping things you will ever see in a bike race. Jan Tratnik, Slovenian star, out there for Bahrain McLaren, on the cusp of writing a very, very special story indeed. Still going, still surviving from a four-man break. 500 metres to go here. Bahrain McLaren thinking that they might have their second stage win of the week. And just a couple of days after Ivan Garcia Cortina did it, Peloton launching the sprint early at 400 metres to go. It's Barbier who gives it a go. Behind, Alaphilippe waits. Kees Bol has a go as well on the right, but off the wheel of Alaphilippe comes Niccolò Bonifacio. Bonifacio with 50 metres to go hitting the front. A burst of speed from the Italian. And the man who lives for Milano-San Remo but won't get to race his home race this year has victory on stage 5 of Paris-Nice. It's a huge, huge win for him. I'd go as far as to say it's the biggest of his career. And Total Direct Energy have victory thanks to their Italian sprinter Bonifacio. Tratnik on the day, losing out just 50 metres to the line, and well, I feel like I've had a kick in the stomach.
Well, yes, what a disappointment for the man who was out there all day, and we could see Bonifacio. He was really impressive there when he decided to go, and he was afraid that, you know, Tratnik was just going to make it, so he struck out a bit earlier. But when he did hit his sprint, like, he just went away from everybody. We could see even Garcia Cortina also very much up there, and he got second actually from Sagan and Bohani up there also in the places. But yes, Bonifacio, the big winner of the day.
Let's get confirmation of the big winner of the day. And poor Jan Tratnik doesn't even make it into the top 10 in the end. It's Bonifacio from Garcia Cortina, Sagan in